Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me live here on YouTube. Today is November 13th, 2025. In this video, I'm going to talk about how and why I had to fire four bookkeeping clients. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened, why it happened, when it happened, and all the other details in between. I started my bookkeeping business 5 years ago, built it up to 80 clients at the end of 2024. And this year, I'm still managing my bookkeeping business, Harrisburg Bookkeeping, but I have been slowing down the bookkeeping company because I'm focusing more on my investment fund, Zip Capital. But I still love making these videos. I still have a ton of experience with my bookkeeping business. So I still like to share some of the lessons that I've learned, some of my experiences, with the hopes of teaching you how to start your own bookkeeping business so that maybe someday you can invest into Zip Capital. Okay, let's talk about it. I had to fire four clients. Now, it wasn't really four clients, it was four businesses, two clients, two people owned these four companies, but they were still four different companies. They were all paying me. Yeah, so let's talk about it. So, the number one reason why I fired them was because they were not responding to my emails for months. The business owners were not responding to my emails. I had questions, like we all do. I had questions. I was sending them questions monthly, sometimes weekly, sometimes multiple times per month, and they literally were not responding to me at all. They were still paying, but I can't do a good job if you don't answer my questions. So they were still paying. So let me just caveat. I mentioned that they weren't responding for months. So if they were not paying and not responding, I would have fired them a long time ago. So if somebody misses one payment the following month, I email them and say, hey, you still have not paid your October invoice. It is now November. Just letting you know, I am pausing your services until you pay the October and November invoice. So if I don't mess around with accounts receivable, invoices, late payments, if you don't pay, I don't do the work. They were still paying me, which is kind of weird. They were still paying their invoices every month, but they just were simply not answering my questions. And so this did not allow me to do a good job. I could have kept going. I could have kept them paying, but honestly, it was stressing me out because I'm a bookkeeper. I'm an accountant. Like, I want things to be reconciled. I want things to be categorized. I want bank transactions to be recorded. I don't care. I care if I make money. It's not that I don't care if I make money, but I don't want to make money if it means that I'm not going to do a good job. And I don't want anything to prevent me from doing a good job. In this case, if the client's not answering my questions, this is the number one reason why I fire clients. The absolute number one reason. Most people pay their invoices, but the number one reason I fire clients is because they do not communicate. They don't answer my questions, and that does not allow me to do my job of bookkeeping. Two reasons. This could potentially cause more work in the future. Cleanup projects can be more work, they can be more difficult, especially if there's a lot of questions. So if you go 6 months without answering my questions, now all of a sudden we've got 6 months of questions to try to work through. Versus it would have been a whole lot easier if you just would have kept up with the questions on a weekly, monthly basis. That way we could have answered the questions in real time, recorded your transactions in real time, and create your financial reports on a monthly basis. That's kind of the whole point. So it could potentially cause more work in the future. So I could have just let them stick around, let them continue to pay their invoices, just let the transactions pile up. And then maybe when it comes time to file their taxes, maybe they finally answer my questions. But that stresses me out. I didn't want to do that. Also, so, first of all, that could cause more work in the future, but also this potentially makes me look bad as a bookkeeper. It potentially makes it look like I'm not doing my job, even though in reality, we all know I'm asking questions. I'm asking very fair questions. Hey, here's this $100,000 wire transfer. Who did you pay? What did you buy? What's this for? Very legitimate, fair questions that it would be impossible for me to know the answer. It's not like it's a bunch of credit card transactions and I'm like nitpicking on little details like, was this a restaurant or was this a gas station or what was this? Was this a business expense? These aren't little nagging, nitpicking, super detailed questions. These are like really big transactions. I definitely need the answer to these transactions. So this potentially makes it look like I'm not doing my job or I'm not doing a good job. I don't want that. I don't want anything outside of my control influencing my ability to do the bookkeeping. So that's really it. That's why I decided to fire those four clients. It sucks. I hate firing clients. I usually word the email in such a way like terminating bookkeeping services effective November 30th, 2025. That would be the subject of the email. And then I might say something like, hey, as you know, I've tried to reach out multiple times. I feel as if I am not able to deliver the level of service that your company needs from a bookkeeping perspective. Because of that, I have made the difficult decision to terminate my services with you. I will do whatever I can to help facilitate the transition to a new bookkeeper, but I am notifying you as of today that I will be terminating your bookkeeping services effective November 30th, 2025. So that's really it. That's really the only reason I ever fire somebody is because they are too hard to communicate with. They don't answer my questions. They don't give me the information I need, and they are difficult to work with. Really, the only reason. Now, along that similar idea, along the same concept, I generally try to be drama free. If you can't tell, I'm a pretty drama free person. I'm pretty down the road, not super controversial, not super whatever drama you might call. Not like I don't like to gossip, I don't like to get in on the local neighborhood drama, and I think that's a really good way for me to operate as an entrepreneur. And I would definitely recommend that you try to do something similar. Follow the three P's. As an entrepreneur, you got to remember that you are now integrating your personal life, your business, your well being, your job, your day to day. You are now integrating that with the local community. As an entrepreneur, you are all of a sudden a part of the local economy. It's a lot different. If you worked at some Fortune 500 company as an accountant, like nobody cares what you're doing. What you're doing doesn't directly impact the local community. But now, as an entrepreneur, as a bookkeeper, you are working with other people in the community. Other local businesses are your clients. So you have to be drama free. I really think this is the best way to do it. Follow the three P's in person, follow the three P's in person, on the internet, when people are looking, when people aren't looking. Follow the three P's: polite, positive, professional. As long as you keep your words, your actions, your conversations, your behaviors polite, positive, and professional, you're going to be okay. I try to be relatively professional and positive and polite in my YouTube videos. Hopefully, that comes across as being the case. I try to live pretty drama free. If there's ever any negative, listen, as you put yourself out there, as you expose yourself to more people, especially strangers, especially on the internet, there's going to be people who want to stir the pot. There's going to be people who are just generally negative and they like drama, they like controversy, they like giving their opinions when their opinions aren't really requested. So these kind of people like to stir up drama. So it's up to you. You can't control what other people say, but you can absolutely control what you say to other people. So whether it's an email or an in-person conversation or talking about someone behind their back or a social media comment or a social media post or a social media DM, whatever it is, try to be drama free. Try to follow those three P's. So, similar how I get rid of clients who don't communicate effectively, I ignore, block out people in my life who like to stir the pot and like to be drama and negative and nasty. I try to be abundantly positive. I think you can probably tell. It's easy. So, here's the thing: it's easy to complain and be negative, but it's also pretty easy to just be positive. And I would always prefer to just be positive. Even here's maybe something somewhat controversial, but even if it's not always 100% true. Now, here's an example. Now, I'm not suggesting that you lie or be dishonest, but I'm suggesting that you just kind of maybe exaggerate the truth a little bit just to be polite and positive and professional, like good manners, right? Good social skills. So if somebody's, for example, if you're talking with somebody and they're showing you a picture of something that they're really excited about, you could say, oh yeah, that's a really nice place, or oh yeah, that looks really nice. If they're really excited about the picture and they're happy about the picture, they're trying to if it's a realtor showing off a property that they just listed, or a landscaping business owner who's showing you, I don't know, a project they just did, maybe you just say, oh yeah, that looks really nice, instead of saying what you really think, like, oh wow, that's in a really terrible neighborhood, wow, that that patio is all crooked, or like, wow, that that renovation like really doesn't look very good. I don't know. That's just kind of what I'm thinking, especially on the internet. There's no need to just be negative. There's no need to be overly opinionated and confrontational and controversial. I don't know. Just be polite, be positive, be professional. I really think it's going to pay dividends in the future. Imagine the whole point of social media marketing is to build trust and relationships. So imagine this. Imagine you have your Facebook friends with somebody and you're just always abundantly positive. You're always commenting, "Hey, that looks really nice. Hey, good job. Hey, wow, that looks awesome. Wow, those flowers are really pretty." Wouldn't that be so much better than always giving your opinion and being negative and being confrontational and controversial? Wouldn't it just be a lot better to just be abundantly positive, polite, and professional? Because in 6 months down the road, that person is going to remember you and that person is going to associate good feelings and good thoughts with your positivity. And the whole point of all of this is to get customers, get clients, get investors in Zip Capital, get clients in Harrisburg Bookkeeping. The whole point is to build relationships, get people to trust you. We are not political pundits out to debate every single topic. This is not a public forum where everybody can just give their opinions and debate whatever they think is true. We are just here to sell our services. Keep it simple. Try to live drama free in real life on the internet. Follow the 3 Ps. I promise you will be better off if you just follow the 3 Ps than if you don't. So that's just kind of a little bit of a rant, I might say. But the real moral of the story is if you have bookkeeping clients who are not communicating effectively and who are frustrated and stressing you out, don't be afraid to let them go. We're entrepreneurs. What's the point of being an entrepreneur if you don't have the freedom and flexibility to do whatever you want, to get rid of clients? Now, I'm not saying do a bad job and fire somebody because that's what you want to do. I always say do your best, try your best, have integrity, try to do your absolute best. But if they are doing something that interferes with your ability to do your best work, then it might be time for you to part ways. That's it. That's it for the video. Now, I'm going to get to the questions. So if you're watching live, if you're on YouTube watching live, feel free to ask me some questions in the chat. I'm going to be on here for about 10 or 15 more minutes and I am going to answer as many questions as I possibly can. Before I get to that, I will just mention very briefly, stick with me here. This video is sponsored by Zip Capital. I'm raising money in my investment fund. I do real estate private money lending to local Pennsylvania real estate investors. I lend them money for their real estate acquisitions so they can fix and flip properties. And I use other people's money. I use your money and I pay you 8%, potentially up to 12%, depending on how much you invest. I use your money and then I lend to real estate investors. I have $1 million of my own money currently lent out, and I have $3 million of money that's not my money also lent out. So if you want to join a local growing investment fund, you can register down below. There's a link in the description of this video, or if you're listening on my podcast, on Apple, on Spotify, if you're watching the replay of this video, there's a link in the description down below, Zip Capital. Check out my website. Thank you so much. Okay, now let's get to the questions. Let's see, Bookkeeping 101. By the way, awesome YouTube name. I love that, Bookkeeping 101. Can you teach us what you're learning about how to maximize Google review scores and visibility? So, not really sure what you mean by Google review scores and visibility. I only do one thing. When it comes to my Google My Business profile, I ask everybody. I am unashamed to ask everybody and anybody who I've worked with, hey, if you wouldn't mind, I'd really appreciate a Google review. I just launched my Zip Capital Google My Business profile 2 days ago. I already have 12 5-star reviews because I asked a ton of people. So if you're just getting started, whoever you've ever worked with, ask them for a Google review. You can go to your profile, you can click like share or like get more reviews. It'll give you a link and you can text that to people, email that to people, DM that to people on Facebook, and you can try to get some more reviews. Blue Viper 4529. Can you explain categorizing transactions and matching? Do I really need to capture client receipts or just upload transactions through the bank? You don't need to capture client receipts. I encourage my clients, they should be keeping their own receipts in the event of an audit, but I don't technically need to upload their receipts to QuickBooks. I can just go to the bank feed and I can record transactions directly in the bank feed. The bank feed automatically pulls in all of the transactional data, the date, the description, the amount. All you have to do is you have to tell QuickBooks who did they pay and what did they buy, the payee and the category. Amanda Rose Kelly, how do you feel about Nextdoor? I've never used it. Do you think it's an effective strategy for getting new clients? I've never. Nextdoor, what is it? Angie's List is one for contractors. Fiverr, Upwork, never been a fan. Never, ever been a fan of any of those services. I am a huge fan of having my own platform. Social media, I have my own website. I have my own Facebook page, my own Instagram, my own LinkedIn, my own YouTube channel. I have my own. I don't want to rely on anybody else. I don't want to pay anybody else for bad leads. I do all my own stuff. Aaron Hollinsworth, thank you for making these lives. Do you have information on your conversion rates from client consultation calls? What percentage of your calls converted to clients? Aaron, unfortunately, I don't. If I were a better salesman, I would have kept that data, but unfortunately I didn't. My philosophy was always just do more. I was always just doing as much as I possibly could just to try to grow my business. So unfortunately, I did not keep that data. I wish I would have, but yeah, my strategy, really simple, kind of like really basic, I guess, rudimentary. So my strategy, every day I would work for 8 hours. In those 8 hours, I just did whatever I possibly could to try to grow my business as aggressively and effectively as I possibly could. Every single day. Every day, 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year. I take off on Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's pretty much it. I pretty much work every other day of the year, and I just aggressively and effectively every single day try to grow my business. So I really don't have like some master magical strategy for growing my business. I just ruthlessly, aggressively, relentlessly, consistently, effectively try to market and sell my services. Right now, that's what I'm doing with Zip Capital. Every single day, I make one YouTube video a day. I make two short videos every day, and I post those on X, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I do two shorts every day. I do one long video every day. I make a post every morning at 8 a.m. and then I post throughout the day 2 or 3 more times on Facebook. And I'm managing 70 bookkeeping clients and I'm managing $4 million in real estate loans. Every single day, I do as much as I possibly can to continue managing what I currently have going on and then continue growing. So, yeah, I don't really have some master strategy other than the fact that just 8 to 10 hours every single day for 5 years, I've just been trying to work as effectively and efficiently as possible. I know that's a terrible strategy, but I don't know. Maybe it might give some people some motivation. Like the good news is there's really no magical secret answer. Like there's really nothing that I'm doing that you can't do. Other than the fact that I've been doing it for 5 years, there's nothing that I'm doing that you can't do. You really can work just as hard as me with some exceptions. Of course, I know everybody has different family situations and different personal health and financial situations. So, of course, I understand everybody has their own personal situations, but seriously, I'm not some super genius. I don't have access to some technology that nobody else has access to. I just work really, really hard and I never gave up. Perseverance is one of the best qualities of an entrepreneur. How do you not target startups? I've been getting a lot of phone calls, but they are on a bootstrap bookkeeping budget, is what I like to call it, and can't even afford $200 to $300 for bookkeeping. So, in the very beginning, you need to do a better job of advertising your services. Tell people my minimum is $300. It's the same thing with Zip Capital. I'm experiencing something very similar. The minimum investment is $25,000. I get a lot of people who call me and say, "Hey, I want to invest $1,000, $5,000. Can I invest $10,000?" No, unfortunately, you cannot. You just be quick. Just be straightforward and quick. Hey, my minimum is $25,000 if you want to invest in Zip Capital. Advertise that. Tell people that. Bring it up in conversation. As soon as somebody calls you, as soon as somebody messages you, hey, if you want to get a quote, I'd love to hop on the phone. My minimum is $300. It could go up from there, but I'd love to hop on. a call and see if I can't work with you. So just be direct, be upfront, and openly and frequently share your minimum. That way you avoid the people who are looking for $100, $200 bookkeeping services. Alec, Zach, I've been watching for about a year now. Thank you for answering all my questions. I see you as a mentor. Keep up the great work and God bless. Alec, man, I can't tell you how nice it is to hear some encouraging words. So, Alec, seriously, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to help you and mentor you. It means a lot because a lot of times I read the comments, but a lot of times it's just me alone in my office just talking to my camera. So, it is really nice to hear some of that positive feedback. So, Alec, seriously, thank you so much. I really genuinely appreciate your kind words and your support. If you've been watching me for a year, gosh, thank you for your support. Hey, Zach, have you ever fired a client that wanted you back afterwards? And if they promised to be more responsive going forward, would you take them back? Funny you bring that up. I literally just had somebody fire me last year. I was charging them $300 per month. Their CPA offered to do their bookkeeping for $250 per month, and they fired me, went with their CPA at the end of last year, just this summer, 6 months ago. 6 months after they fired me, they reached back out and said, "Hey, my CPA is not doing a good job with my bookkeeping. Can I hire you back at the same price? I'd be more than happy to pay you $300 per month." Unfortunately, I told them no because I wasn't taking on new bookkeeping clients. But yes, it has happened, and gosh, that's one of the best feelings ever. It's kind of like I told you so. Of course, I didn't say that directly to him, but it's kind of nice for that to happen because you can find there's always a cheaper option, but when it comes to something like this, like an attorney, engineer, bookkeeper, accountant, or like website design, stuff like that, there's always a cheaper option. But do you really want a cheaper option when it comes to your taxes and your bookkeeping and your financial reports? I don't think so. Next question. Hey, Zach, thank you for what you do. How do you engage with businesses on LinkedIn to get conversions? That's hard. It's hard. It's weird to engage on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is not easy. I would probably recommend getting LinkedIn Sales Navigator. The LinkedIn news feed is really weird. And also, a lot of people don't post on LinkedIn. It's kind of hard. I'll be honest with you, I don't engage a ton on LinkedIn, but if I did, I would probably leverage LinkedIn Sales Navigator. With that, you can create lists. And so you can add prospective clients to your list, and then you can go into LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and then you can only see posts from people who you've added to that list. That would probably be the best idea. But yeah, honestly, over the past 5 years, I have not had a ton of success engaging with people on LinkedIn. I primarily just engage with people on Facebook. Honestly, that's really the only place where I engage with people is Facebook. Next question, Joe Schramm. I know cold calling isn't your favorite, but would you call someone after they haven't message for some time? Others have read my message without a response and I just move on. Joe, here's the thing about cold calling. If you have time, give it a shot, right? If you have time, you might as well give it a shot. You got nothing else to do. If you have time, sure, it wouldn't hurt to call a couple people. I did. I tried it. Back 5 years ago, 4 years ago, when I was just getting started, I tried cold calling. I realized it wasn't for me. I realized it was not a great use of my time. So absolutely. If you want to call them, call them. Who cares? Leave them a voicemail. Who cares? There's nothing. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? They're going to ignore your voicemail and not answer. Who cares? Give it a try. I would say, yeah, go for it. And if you do, let us know how it goes. Let us know. I'm going to be going live tomorrow, same time, same place, 10 a.m. Let us know how it goes if you do give them a call. The other thing I'm going to say, so I have a Facebook group that's linked down below. It's free to join. Anybody can join the Facebook group. I just posted in that Facebook group today. And I said, if you're feeling burnt out from posting, try engaging with your community. This week, I have really tried to increase my engagement, and I think it really helps promote my own posts. My own posts this week have done unusually well, and I don't think I'm posting really different stuff, but I've just been engaging with a lot of other people. I've been commenting on other people's posts, following the three Ps. Polite, positive, professional. That's all you got to do. I've been following the three P's and I've just been commenting on a ton of other people's posts. And I really think it helps promote my posts. And also, it just helps build relationships. I promise you, if you comment on somebody else's post, I promise you they're going to see your comment. Versus if I make a post, they probably won't see my post. But if I comment on their post, I promise you, I guarantee you, they will see your comment if they check their notifications. So I think if you're feeling burnt out, frustrated, not really sure what to do, or like kind of feeling like you want to take a day off, just spend 10, 15 minutes intentionally engage with people on Facebook. What I've done all this week, if I catch myself doom scrolling, instead I will stop immediately and I will just start scrolling with intention, and I will just scroll to the next post and I'll comment on it. Scroll to the next post, comment on it. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. It's work. It's not fun. Doom scroll. You could doom scroll for 30 minutes and not even blink an eye, and the time goes by so fast. But if you intentionally scroll and engage with your community, not fun, not entertaining, it's work. So don't avoid it because it's hard, because starting a business is hard. It's not supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be fun social media interaction. It's work. It's business. Think about it like that. So if I caught myself doom scrolling, I would try to snap out of it and I would try to go to intentionally scrolling with engagement. And that has really helped. It also helped me spend less time on social media, waste less time, because I was intentionally scrolling for engagement instead of just doom scrolling. Chili Davids. Facebook makes it easy to see who accepted your friend request in the last 30 days by going to connections and selecting the date. But is there a way to do that on LinkedIn? Yes, actually, there is. On LinkedIn, you can go to your connections and you click on My Network and then like connections on the left. And then you can see who accepted your connection request based on what day. And then you can just open up their profile and send them a message. So, yeah, it actually does. It is out there. So, yeah, go to LinkedIn, go to the connections, and you can see you can't filter and sort. So, you're going to have to scroll all the way down to, like, if you want to go 30 days ago, you're going to have to scroll all the way down 30 days of connection requests. Shelby McLean, very motivated by your hard work. Thanks for making a difference in our lives. I appreciate you, Shelby. Thanks for sharing that. Stuart, I am meeting with my second roofing contractor to be a potential client. Do you use project based accounting features in QBO for contractors or just keep it simple? If they want me to, I can do project tracking, but I charge extra. It's a lot more work. Honestly, I try not to do it. It's a lot more work, but it's a great way to get a bigger client. I would probably charge $1,000 a month for project tracking. It's a ton of work because every single transaction needs to be explained. You need to not only say who did you buy, what did you who did you pay, what did you buy, but now you also need to say a third variable, what project does it go to. So I can figure out most of that information by myself. Who did you pay? Home Depot. What did you buy? Job supplies. And I can do all of that bookkeeping by myself. But all of a sudden you incorporate that third variable, project tracking. Now what would have taken me 5 minutes is now going to take me 30 minutes, because now I need to sort through receipts, ask a ton of questions, and allocate every single transaction to a project. So it is very useful for the client, but it's a lot more work for us. So charge accordingly. Charge a lot more for project tracking than just standard bookkeeping, not project tracking. Enrique, been watching your videos for a while, inspired me to start on my own, still working for someone else while the business picks up. Thanks for all the videos and motivation. Enrique, congratulations. Congratulations on not giving up. Still working for someone else while the business picks up is very hard. Keeping your full-time job while still trying to grow your bookkeeping business is one of the hardest things that you're going to do. Getting started, so hard. So don't give up. I'm proud of you. Keep working hard. Joe Schramm, you've been a huge help for me in the past few months. Thank you and God bless. Joe, so happy to hear that. Really appreciate the encouragement and support. I'm so happy I could help you. Stuart, I'm running your strategy pretty much to the T, and it's been working great. Stuart, let's go. Good job, Stuart. Keep up the good work. Appreciate the shout out. Thank you so much. Let's see. Last question. Zach, thanks for everything. I just got Pro Advisor Level 1 certified yesterday in the first try. Faith, congratulations. Good job. All right, everybody. That's it for the video. Check out all the links in the description of this video. Like I mentioned, I post all the time on my other social media channels: Facebook, X, Instagram, LinkedIn. Follow me if you haven't already. Follow me. Don't send me a friend request because I'm probably not going to accept it, but follow me. Follow me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. Follow me. Stay tuned for tomorrow. I'm going to be going live again on YouTube. Check out all the links in the description. Register on Zip Capital's website if you want to invest. I would love to work with you. Thank you so much. Have a great day.